Hey, this is the TMG podcast. This is episode 88. Hey guys, this is Carlos, and with me as well.
Hello, and I am sick, so excuse me if I sound terrible today.
You are excused, and with me is Miggy.
Hi guys, I'm also the tired, but not the sick.
No, I think we were all tired. Even I just came from work technically. I'm kind of pooped out. But we're still going to talk about video games, and yes, this is a podcast about, the three of us discussing or talking about what happened in the video game world. What happened in the video game world? What happened this week?
EVO is happening right now, the world's biggest fighting
That's probably
game.
the biggest thing, that happened this week. You're not really missing much. Just go ahead, do your own thing. Keep playing those games. Because I know I've been playing those games. EVO is one of the biggest that happened this week. And it's still ongoing. Yeah, the finals I think is tomorrow. But of course, everything should be all done as you listen to this podcast. Everything should be complete. We have our winners for 2015. And for those who don't know what EVO is Evolution. One of the biggest. No, it's the biggest.
It is the biggest
fighting game tournament. Yes. The biggest fighting game tournament in the world.
It happens every year in Las Vegas. Around
every June, right?
Yeah, around this season, June, July.
June, July. Yeah. And I don't know. I watched a couple of matches, pretty hype, especially MK and Street Fighter. But let's talk about that in a bit. You can still feel the vibe of everything's been toned down. If you noticed, we have one big thing that happened in the week. Sadly, last week was pretty much Nintendo losing losing Iwata last week, and this week that's pretty much just EVO. Just like any other episode, let's go start off with our basic tradition. What we've been playing. What is this? Talk about that. Miggy, what about you? Let's start with you.
All right.
What have you been doing? Yeah, 2 in a row. Why don't you?
I guess for the past 2 weeks, I've been playing Assassin's Creed 2. That I borrowed the Enzo trilogy from a friend of mine.
Well, at least that's the good one.
Yeah, that's the good one. If this was the first Assassin's Creed game, then I'd understand all the hype.
I thought you finished it the last time you played it, or was this the first time?
That was the first game.
You finished the game.
I beat 1. And
I always assumed that you played 2. Okay.
No, I did play 2 after 1, and I enjoyed 2, even though it's more of the same game, but with a vast amount of improvements and all that. Just the design of the cities and the verticality of the climbing is already a huge improvement over 1. And so that's cool.
There's quite a big gap.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, even though, it has the Assassin's Creed problems like chase missions, and, Ezio jumping the opposite way that you want him to, and then you end up dying or some nonsense.
That stuff hasn't been fixed even now, you'll still end up. You're chasing someone and then suddenly you're perched on a fence for no reason.
Yeah, I was chasing a dude on the rooftop. I was holding forward, right? Ezio jumps across to the next roof, which has a ladder, and he just starts climbing down the ladder. I'm holding up. And when I release and I hold up again, he starts climbing down. And I failed the mission. Amazing. It's cool. I don't know if I'll play all of the games. I might just play up to Brotherhood and then give it back, depending on, the pacing. I am enjoying it, but the game has crashed 3 to 4 times already. Which might be an issue of
3 or 4 times?
Yeah, it might be an issue of the collection, since they did pack 3 games into 1 disc.
Oh, are you playing
it's just in 1 disc.
Oh.
I'm playing it on the PS3.
Oh, okay.
So how it does it is it'll pre-install Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, while Revelations is a regular bootable PS3 disc on the menu screen. So that might be.
Oh wait, so
collection
it's just one disc that comes out of the collection. I always assume it was like 3 discs, or like getting actually 3 retail copies of the game.
Maybe on Xbox 360
series.
that's the case, but on PS3 it's just the one Blu-ray. Some compression technology was done or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, and that I also got Yatagarasu Attack on Cataclysm on Steam.
Oh, that's a fighting game, right?
Yeah.
The anime fighter?
Yeah, it's a doujin fighter from, like, it was made in Japan 2 years ago.
Right.
By some former SNK guys. And it's really good. Like, when I saw a video of it a few months ago, and I heard about the beta being done on Steam for the English version, I was like, that looks really good. So I played the game, and it feels really nice. It's like the best comparison is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Oh, okay.
With like how
really?
it feels,
It
and
doesn't feel like an SNK fighter at all.
It feels more like Third Strike than an SNK fighter, but it does the thing where combos are really short and high damage, and universal overheads are a thing. Some characters are straight up clones of, like, there's a dude who's just Dudley. Like, even his sweep is the same as Dudley's, the little pickup from the bottom with his gloves.
Right.
And all that. And, like, the grappler has Hugo's stance. And there's a Ryu and Ken in the game. Like, one is better at DPs, one is better at fireballs.
Right,
oh, they can't escape.
It's pretty cool,
though. They
though.
can't escape the show those, I guess.
Yeah, and, like, they said that they did add characters into the English version, separate from the Japanese release. But, like, it's like clone characters, more or less. Like, there's the Shotos, they wear the exact same clothes, just have different hair, a different idle stance, but the same moveset. With some, like, system changes or whatever. And then there's another sword schoolgirl, where one of them is a charge and one of them is a motion, but, like, one has long hair, the other has short hair, but they have the exact same sprites outside
That's
of
funny.
that.
Budget. That's what I consider budget cuts when you see the same sprites.
Yeah, but then there are a few characters, and everyone seems to have, like, aside from the clones, everyone is, like, very different, but they go through all the archetypes, like the grappler, the projectile, the rush down, the mix up, all of that. I think it's 400 pesos on Steam. It's pretty solid. You can get the demo, which gives you access to one character and arcade mode. So you can try it out. I forget the name. But, like, I heard it's by former SNK developers in Japan. And this game came out, like, 2013 or something. So they only released it now in English, yeah. So they added, like, because the Japanese version has, you could select, like, a hype man, sort of.
Okay.
Like a commentator.
Oh, okay, a comment.
Oh, a hype man. Okay. I was like, there's a thing called hype man? That's, okay, commentator. That makes a little bit more okay.
So, yeah, you can select, like, Tokido or Kubo, and, like, when you land moves...
Are you serious?
Yeah, like a little speech bubble will appear, and then they'll say something. So, like, they added James Chen, Ultra David, and Maximilian into the English release. And you can also pick...
That's so cool.
You can also pick, like... a more aggressive version of the commentator, or a more, like, passive version. So, like, you can pick peaceful Jay Chensor, and when you land stuff, he'll go like, "Yeah, that was great. That was a great mix-up." But if you pick the aggressive one, the unlimited, like Maximilian, he'll start shit-talking you if you get hit.
Oh.
Okay. For those who don't know, like the ones that we mentioned, there's a lot of, like, famous commentators in the fighting game scene, and what we mentioned earlier is pretty much the known ones, the most famous ones, like Ultra David, James Chen, Maximilian, I guess.
Yeah.
And then known names like Tokido, which is like a really famous.
Yeah, and Tokido has a separate character, like the Death Face, because you know how, like, Tokido has this angry face when he loses super hard.
Right.
So he's known as, like, the killer face Tokido, and it's just a shadow of Tokido with, like, red flames behind him.
I still miss the old Tokido when he wins, like, convincing. No, not really convincing. Like, a clutch play, he wins. He goes to. I remember at one time he went to the what's it called? The screen, and he posed just like as if
Yeah.
Akuma was posing.
I know about that. And Infiltration did
'cause
that
it
at
was
EVO
all
a few
dark.
times.
Yeah, because during that time the whole area was dark, and when he won, everybody was screaming like, "Wait, where's Tokido?" And apparently he's just there in the screen. No one knew he was just there, and I was staring at it.
So that's pretty good. Like the game itself feels amazing. Like we should do an episode of that.
We should do a painfully free.
Yeah, we
definitely.
should.
Although we have to figure out a way to do two-player on the PC, I guess.
It takes in like USB controllers fine, and it's 6 buttons, but like only 4 are attack, while the other 2 are like a high parry and a low parry.
Oh, I see.
So see, it's more third
We should
strike
do
now than
painfully
anything.
free again.
Oh yeah,
We got a lot of
painfully
games
free
on the
we
list,
have a lot
dude.
of games to go
We should-
through. Yeah, so we
should do
definitely
that.
will.
Because what was the first thing? That was the first game we played in the first episode. Because that was a lot of fun. Because that was like pure.
That was
I had no idea.
Battle
Oh yeah,
Which is fun.
Battle Fantasia, which is now on Steam as well.
Battle Fantasia, yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to pick that up, Battle Fantasia. The small child with a big sword. He's my hero.
A fighting game with RPG
dragon
characters, like MMO characters.
With no they have no nose, right? They're like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Some characters have no
or
nose,
maybe-
like the main characters, like the
Oh, okay, yeah.
the dude with the chainsaw and his younger brother.
Is that a chainsaw? It's like a chainsaw from.
I don't know. It's a
It's
medieval
Phasma
laser
chainsaw,
chainsaw.
whatever.
So that was my like gaming things for this week.
What about you?
I finished up Batman.
What you
I
doing, huh? What
I
you did
finished up
Batman?
And yeah,
You finished it up already? Wow.
Well, I didn't complete everything. Like I didn't finish all the Riddler stuff. I mean, because there's just way too much of that shit.
Oh, you never finish all the Riddler. If you do the Riddler stuff, you're crazy. Whoever finishes the Riddler stuff, you are crazy. There's so much crap for whenever people try to finish
but
Riddler. It's so many.
It's still
so
easier
pointless.
to platinum Batman games compared to some others. Because, you can just look up a guide of the
Yeah,
locations.
exactly. You can still look all that up.
Well, so back Assassin's Creed getting all the feathers is kind of stupid.
Yeah, I know someone who just platinumed the game like last week.
Oh, we're at that point already with the Arkham Knight. People are just platinuming it left and right already. This has been that long.
No,
Or
it's one of
been a
those
week.
games. I think it's the same like for any other Arkham game. Like once you beat the story and all that, like everything else is just a collectible.
Everything else just like do whatever's left. Yeah. So what do you think
I think
overall?
this is
Will,
one of
you've
the-
finally done the last arc.
Yes, this is definitely one of the darker Batman games, and it is it is an end to this particular trilogy. I think it ends on a pretty final note in that regard. As I said, though, I still don't feel this was the best of the series. Like, I still think Arkham City was the better game. But I can't say
In what
I can't
way?
I
say
didn't
that
love that
I
game, though.
didn't enjoy it. In what way?
That's a good question, though. In what way? Yeah. That's a
Um,
good question.
Was it the ham fisting of the Batmobile
The
segments?
Batmobile segments, like I mentioned last week, I still feel they felt a little bit forced.
I heard you had to platform with that at some point.
It's got some weird segments. You've got to race around with it. You've got to use because it's got this grappling attachment that you have to use at certain points, and like you're literally platforming with the Batmobile in certain segments. So it's kind of weird. But there's no way you can't do it without it. Like that's the thing. The game won't let you progress until you get the Batmobile to where it needs to be, right? So how was it better? It's just I guess. How do I guess in Arkham City it still felt really fresh, having this sort of open world Batman game where you can like do whatever you want.
So is it just like series fatigue?
I think that's it. I think that's partially it. It's series fatigue. Like, yeah, it's cool that I can still it's still open world in that sense, but I didn't get the same sense of like, oh, this is cool as I did from like Arkham City. Because you did this, it had the same thing in Arkham Origins, and again, like now in Arkham Knight, right?
Well,
It's also the characters. Like I think Arkham City was the first one where you really had to tackle a lot of the individual Bat villains one on one, and so that was really cool. And now here again, they're doing it's sort of like that in a way. Like there's a lot of cameos of different villains. But again, it's all been done before, so I guess it is series fatigue in a way. The only thing I kind of liked about this one, well, I liked the game. Don't get me wrong, but what I found that I would have liked more of is there were segments where you get to play as Nightwing, as Robin, as other characters in the Bat universe. I would have liked to see more of that. And from what I hear, I know the DLC is supposed to bring that in, but from what I hear,
the season pass.
Yeah, but from what I hear, the DLC isn't very good. So, I'm not going to say anything apart from what
the Batgirl experience.
From what I've read, I have no practical first-person experience.
It looks really short.
Yeah, I have the Harley Quinn.
Just wait for the Batgirl solo game.
I have the Harley Quinn DLC, the pre-order DLC, and that was super short. So.
Oh yeah, I remember. Was it Miguel?
It was Justice, who was like complaining about. They called it the pack, but it's just like one stage.
It's literally one stage, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the Facebook message was like, what is this pack they talk of with the Harley Quinn pack? All I see is a mission.
And
one mission. I don't see a pack.
His follow-up was like, the game is good, so I guess it's okay to rip you off.
Yeah.
Actually, Warner Bros. Is not that shy in that regard when it comes to their additional content, quote unquote. Because I don't know, I actually never liked their previous. I don't know. What about you, Will? You've picked up some of the DLCs, like the Mr. Freeze one.
I thought the Mr. Freeze one was good though.
Like, were you?
That really.
Oh, okay. There, yeah. Because me, I wasn't too happy with the other ones, even before.
Oh, really?
It wasn't too.
I thought
appealing.
The Harley Quinn's Revenge in Batman Arkham City was quite good, and I thought the Mr. Freeze one was not as good, but it was passable. I liked it because it was the origin story of Mr. Freeze, basically, like introducing him for the first time into the
back when he was still Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger, but yeah.
Chill, Miggy,
Everybody
chill.
freeze.
I have to watch that guy's latest film. Still.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
The Ice Age. Doesn't Waze have his voice right now?
Yeah. So.
All right. So go on.
So no. Well, okay. So I finished.
What about
I
Freeze?
finished off Batman, and then I moved on to play a game that's been on my backlog forever, which was Costume Quest 2.
Oh,
I just saw you boot that up. I was like, wait, aren't we supposed to do a podcast?
Yeah,
And I
well,
saw you
Costume
boot
Quest,
that up.
the first Costume Quest was a small game released by Double Fine. Sort of like a small...
Yes, it was a double.
It's like one of those games that they released on Xbox Live back in the day. They had like Costume Quest, they had Stacking, they had Iron Brigade.
One of them, Tim Schafer's.
It's a quick and dirty Tim Schafer game. And the first one was a very light RPG where you played like a bunch of kids in Halloween, and you were basically trying to stop these aliens from like destroying all the candy in the world. Right? It's like a dumb, stupid plot, but it
kids'
works,
priority.
right?
Why not?
And the whole shtick of it is, depending on the costume that you have on, that's sort of the powers you get in the combat.
That's what you become.
Yeah, so like if you have like a robot costume, like in combat, you'll become this big ass robot, right? It's pretty cool, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty cool.
I played the first one and I really liked it. It was actually, I mean, the game is super easy. Like, it's not difficult at all by any means. But it's got the Tim Schafer brand of humor there, right? So which I like.
Is it like very appealing to children in some regard?
I think it would
like
actually appeal to more.
story.
It's actually got an appeal to adults more. I wouldn't say it's targeted just really to children because it's a lot of
No, not just for children, but it's passable to at least like, hey, you should actually try this, you 8-year-old.
Well, that's the thing. There's no voice. It's all text. So I don't know how.
Oh yeah, no children will not. Yeah, they can't.
But if
no
you're a
child
fan of
will
Tim
pass
Schafer,
through that,
like,
no.
and it's a good game. It's fun. It's not the best. It's not the deepest RPG system in the world, but it doesn't need to be, right? But yeah, so I.
Sometimes it's simple as good.
So finally, I picked
Or better,
up, Part 2 because I never played Part 2. It was released last year, apparently. I didn't even know there was a Part 2 that was released until I saw it on Steam sale. Mm-hmm. So I picked that up, and now I'm playing through it finally. And it's pretty much more of the same, which for me isn't such a bad thing. When you consider like how much you're actually paying for it, you're not paying the same price as a AAA game. You're not, and it doesn't try to, it's not hiding what it is. It's a simple game that you can play, and it's fun for a couple hours, and you'll be done with it. So yeah.
When South Park: The Stick of Truth was announced, I was actually assuming that they would go somewhat similar to Costume Quest. But
they went totally, yeah. South Park: Stick of Truth actually
that was my
has
first
a lot
thought.
of hidden
It
depth.
sort of is like that, except with the South Park art style instead of being a
I'm
giant
talking about the
robot.
mechanics.
Oh,
The
okay.
mechanics and gameplay where it depends on what they transform. Like Cartman wants to be a wizard today, or a knight. He gets special
Like
abilities.
they would have
for
job
whatever he's wearing.
changes.
Yeah, or something to that regard. Because that's what I was associating Costume Quest with Stick of Truth when it was first announced. But as it moved forward, it was not that at all.
Or at the very
It was
least,
big.
like your created character should be able to change jobs at some point.
Yeah, or something to that regard.
Yeah, but you get to pick a class
That's
at
awesome.
the start, and that was about it, right?
You get to be a Jew.
Jew
at
is
the
a
start.
class.
You become a Jew. I'm almost positive everybody who've played South
Was
Park:
Jew.
Stick of Truth
Yeah.
played the Jew. Just because you've never seen a class like that ever in any
Exactly.
video game. All of a sudden, you can be a Jew. I mean, everybody will pick. I don't want to be a knight or a mage. No, I want to be a Jew. Why not? It's right there. You'll never get to be a Jew ever again. Especially the sequel.
Yeah, there is.
Or in
there
that
is
case, that'd be a.
sequel coming out.
There's a
Boy.
sequel coming. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a DLC or they actually have a class called Jew, and it's still, even though it's superhero, you can still be a Jew.
It's still one of the
it's just something
choices
that
in the
they
new
do.
game.
Yeah, just for the fuck of it, like why not? That's awesome though. Costume Quest, Arkham Knight. I don't think I'll be picking up Arkham Knight anytime soon. I think it's gonna be one of those games where I'm gonna hold off for a while.
Yeah, wait
And
for
then
the
maybe
Game
get-
of the
Yeah,
Year
def-
edition
def-
with all the
definitely
Definitely
DLC.
wait for
Yeah.
the Game of the Year edition, especially when you consider that not all. If you're going to get it on PC, not all systems are working well with it. So, yeah.
Supposedly, yeah. It's not like I'm not wanting to play. I want to play it, but thanks for the summer sale and all that jazz. I kind of have to look back on what the fuck I bought and actually play those games. So I'm literally just holding off. Because it's a pretty dry month, or not really dry month. Next 2 months will be somewhat dry in terms of the AAA market. There's not much going on. Like, I think the next big one is Metal Gear Solid 5, unless someone corrects me soon. I'm not too sure, but yeah.
What about you, Carlos? What have you been playing?
I'm still trying to go through Dark Souls 2. Apparently the DLC is really hard. It's really kicking my ass. No, seriously. I think that was Saturday. I spent up like 2 hours trying to finish the last boss of one DLC.
Do you know if the
They did not
DLC is
skimp on that
also
one at all.
revamped in the Scholar of the First Sin version? Or was it just the main game that was revamped?
That I didn't know. I'm assuming that the main game was the one revamped. I don't think the DLC was touched in any way. I think the main game was the one that really revamped and placed all the items and the monsters. But yeah, I'm struggling to that. I'm going on and off. I'm not really mainly focusing on that because it's still a stressful game. Like, it's still one of those. They did not like half-ass their production when it comes to the DLC. These bosses are tough. I mean, like, fuck. It's like a brand new experience altogether. It's a pain in the ass. So when I'm not playing it, it's July. There's new shit on the PS4, right? There's new because I have I'm subscribed to PlayStation Plus
So you're
on
getting
my
new stuff
PS4,
all
so I'm
the
getting
time.
those new games.
Did you get Rocket League?
I'm losing space every month, pretty much. That's what's going on. July for the PlayStation 4, I got Styx, Master of Assassins. That stealth game where you're a goblin and start walking around. Yeah. I haven't touched that because you know my thing about stealth games. But I still got it though. Entwined, that really really fancy artsy-fartsy game that was announced, I think, last year, where you're controlling a bird and a fish.
Oh,
the fish was on the left side, and the bird on the right side.
Have you given that a go yet?
That one was pretty okay. The left stick is pretty much the left stick is for the fish, which is the orange figure, and the right stick is for the bird, which is the blue figure. And the left stick, the each figure pretty much covers both each side. Like the fish is on the is on the left, and the bird is on the right. And you have to pretty much direct those objects on specific parts as you move forward. And once you're done with the stage, these two, like the fish and the bird, they merge and they become a huge, green, colorful bird. And I have to pick up these colorful floating objects in this open space where I can freely move around. And then the stages end, and then I have to do the same thing over again. That's pretty much the game in itself.
Is it fun,
it's very artsy-fartsy, so...
Sounds like
no,
a
it's
mobile
confusing
game.
for me because it sounds like a it's like a perfect thing for a mobile game, but it seems to it felt like they focused more on the art style more than anything else than the game. The gameplay is very simple. It's very simple. It's easy to pick up, but then as you go through the stages, like you kind of start to wonder why am I doing this? Because you have no explanation on why there's a relation between the bird
Because they're entwined.
And fish. Somewhat, but they turn into a bird. Then you start to question why are you turning into a bird.
They combine,
and then they start to
powers.
get these. Yeah, and then you grab all these objects. These called like blue-red objects. When you fill up the bar, a portal shows up, and you bring the bird to the portal, and then again the stage ends. Rinse and repeat. I'm not done with the game. I'm still in the process of what the hell's going on. That's what I'm trying to say. But the game I want to mention though really quick before we move forward is, you guys know Rocket League?
Yeah, you got Rocket League.
That's another game I got also in July.
Everyone's talking about Rocket League.
Oh my!
Do you know that this game is
Rocket
actually a sequel?
To what?
To Supersonic
Series?
Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars, which was on PS3.
That's a better name.
Yeah, but
That's a
like
better
Rocket
name.
League is easier to remember, you know.
I've never
True.
heard of it.
But
we
what
actually,
is Rocket League?
We actually have a video of the prequel game on our channel that I did with my cousins.
Oh, you played it?
Yeah, so Rocket League is the sequel to that on PS4, which I think runs on the new Unreal Engine. And it's essentially soccer with RC cars.
Oh, okay.
And it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's freaking amazing, dude. It's free for the PS Plus
for
owners
Plus
right
for
now
July.
for the PS4. And it was released the day it was announced to be a free copy.
Yeah, because
so it's one of those games that
it used to be on beta on PS4 for like a few months.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know how people got in, but so like they released.
I didn't even know
free.
this game existed, to be honest. And I actually seeing it from afar, like, Rocket League is another like weird addition to the PS Plus collection.
But then you play it and see how fun it is.
Dude, when I booted that game up, I think that was my Saturday night, to be honest. Yesterday, that was literally my Saturday night. I booted it up at 9. All of a sudden, it was 4 in the morning. I shit you not.
Were you playing online?
I was playing online. It was a lot of fun. And I met.
Oh, you made friends.
Oh, you formed friendships.
I made friends. Yes, because we were forming strategies.
Good. That's how you should play that game.
Because it's a lot of fun. No, it's a lot of fun. It's easy to grasp.
Yeah.
Like what May explained, it's pretty much soccer, but
it's soccer with RC cars, and like all the stages are encased in a dome, so you can just like run up the walls and the ceilings. And
you can pretty much wall climb, or rather drive climb in the wall, and you press X to jump, and if you jump again, you pretty much do like a double jump, right? But the double jump is you can actually either
change
jump
the
left or jump forward. Yeah, you can change the direction of your RC, and what that does is pretty much give you a little. If you do that to the ball, once you do that, you can give it like a spin, or propel it forward more.
Yeah, that's basically how you aim your shots with the giant soccer ball. Which is what
it's actually
the previous game didn't have the jet propelled second jump. It only gives you like the spins. So that's the new thing in Rocket League. The boosted second jump, which is a great addition.
That was a great addition. Again, easy to easy to grasp, somewhat fun to master. It's not really hard. It's actually, and then for those who like know soccer and whatnot, you start to see these little strategies and start to be really fun, especially like trying to go for a corner kick or trying to go for a long shot.
You should look up YouTube videos of people doing stunt tricks in Rocket League. Like, if you think that people juggling soccer balls is mad skills, see the videos of people doing it with like a virtual RC car. Yeah. I think even in the open beta, not open beta, the closed beta, they wouldn't shut it down until like all games have stopped. But the game only stops when the ball touches the floor once the timer's out. So like there was this group of dudes who would just like position their cars in a way that the ball would bounce off everyone and not touch the floor. And they were just doing that for a few hours until the developers closed down the servers because they couldn't wait anymore.
They just forced it. It's a lot of fun. It's so much I can say. It's very simple. There's not much going. There's a little level up system where you can get like change the looks of your cars.
Your appearance. So like there's hats for cars.
Yeah, there's hats or like some like flag you can put it. Nothing like it's all cosmetic, nothing big or nothing major, just for fun. And that's pretty much it. The game and then some customization every now and then, and that's pretty much what you get out of Rocket League. But it's so much. The gameplay is so much fun. It's so easy to grasp that I'm not kidding. It was like I picked it up at 9 and I started to play it all till 4 online, and I didn't even know there's offline yet, or it was like split screen. I just went straight up online. It was a lot of fun.
I think they added like because the previous game could only go up to 4 players. I think now you can go up to like 4v4.
No. 4v4 is the max, but in the game mode,
like
what's considered the standard is 3v3. Yeah, and it's like it's pretty much like 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2. Yeah, like exactly. It's like 1 versus 1, 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4, which is pretty much called Chaos Mode.
Yeah, it's like 8-player Smash. It's just like so random.
There's not much to say. It's just it definitely grips you. It's hype as hell, just like any other soccer game. And if anybody's actually considering to pick up PlayStation Plus or wants a reason to pick up PlayStation Plus, this is actually a very good reason because Rocket League is actually a pretty good game.
I'm so glad that people are taking notice of Rocket League now because nobody bought or knew about the first game, and like the super long title is funny, but Rocket League is a much better title. And it's
actually pretty interesting. It's actually pretty interesting because I checked out the notes, and then I think some of the major news sites were actually picking up with the fact that the word of mouth for Rocket League is really big, is really strong. Because a lot of people are having a lot of fun. So many streams of it now.
To the point that it's part of esports already.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Because they already announced that around 3 million people have confirmed to have played this game, and they've already hit a peak of 163,000 concurrent players.
Wow.
Now it's not confirmed though if it's PS4 only, but I know that
I think it's coming out on
PlayStation
PC
4
eventually.
PC.
But so far, PS4 version seems to be taking off because of the Plus subscription.
I think it's already out in PC.
Yeah.
I think it's already out in PC. But I think it's great though that they actually did this because that's like I think it's the biggest the well-received reception of a game that came out that was released as a PlayStation Plus incentive or exclusive, like for free. Because I didn't hear that with I remember Apotheon, because that came out at the same time it was free for PlayStation Plus, and no one really took notice of this. Only now, like Rocket League, everybody just wants to play it. Great game. Everybody picks it up. I assure you, you're gonna have a lot of fun, especially with some friends. And yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the news. Wait.
Not yet.
Nope,
No, you're missing.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a surprise for you. Yeah.
We got something. Whoever's listening and whoever wants to play a game.
Yes, you lucky listener. You.
Luckily.
Number 1 or number 2. Whoever bothers to type in some code on Steam, we got a code for you because you guys can.
If you know how to type a code in Steam, then you should be listening very carefully right now.
And if you can do it really fast.
Because Yes, because we don't, for this episode we only have one, and that Steam code is for Nightfall Escape, an early access game by Xeno Games.
It's a Pinoy
survival
horror game. Yep.
It's a Pinoy horror game, survival horror, first-person flashlight experience.
No, and if you want to,
you might have a
First-person
you might have a kick out of
if
it.
you want to check out how our impressions of it, go check out our YouTube channel. Me and Miggy did a playthrough of it.
Yeah.
Gave our thoughts.
We did the thing.
So go check that out.
Yep, it's up there on the TMG blog, or you can experience it by yourself with the code we have.
So bring out that pen and paper and write this
Or
shit
just open
down.
your Steam right now and type it out as we dictate.
Or yell
Or
at your
open your
friend on your
notepad.
phone if you're not at home.
Or use your phone with your notepad.
Use your
Or use a
imagination.
Use your brain to
Just
memorize
give him
it.
the fucking code.
Okay, the code is, for you one lucky listener, for Nightfall Escape. Do take note, we have more codes to give out. We're just giving one because we like to, not to give it all.
Too many
Anyway,
codes. Too many
first-
codes.
Too many codes. Let's just go with one for this episode. Listen carefully. I'm going to say it out loud, so I'm still dragging this out, sorry. Alright. The code is V3GBC-6IV9M-VG7BI. You get that?
It's a long ass
No?
code.
I'll say it again. It's the same old. What's this? 3, 4, 5. It's 15, like in any other Steam, redeem codes. I'll say it again though. V3GBC-6IV-9M-VG7BI. Now all the letters in that code has to be in capital letters. Don't forget the dashes. Redeem the code. Download that 500 MB game
Yeah.
and start giving your inputs on this early access game because it's currently in
Oh,
development.
and don't forget, if you claim the code, let us know so we can scratch it off the
Yes,
list.
sir.
Yeah, please. That'll help us, really. It will really, really help us. Because we're going through a lot of codes here, and it will be hard to track which is valid or invalid.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we can't
Facebook,
test it
Twitter.
because that means we'll use it. So let us know.
Or then again, we can just do it because we already have a copy of Nightfall Escape. But anyway, just be a good, be a pal, and just say a hi.
You can brag to
bother
your
to get
friends
their
that,
code.
"Ooh, I got this free code from these 3 idiots on the internet. Checked it out," and scream in the scaries.
But if you so happen to not be able to get the code because some douchebag was first,
Don't worry, we have
Tune in
lots
next
of
week.
codes for you guys.
yep.
So don't worry.
Or
But if you're kind of curious,
try last week's episode in case no one has claimed that.
yeah, because that's actually up to this recording that the one on our last episode, no one bothered
Inform
to
us.
inform us because oh well. But for those who are still waiting or are kind of eager about Nightfall Escape, do check it out. It's on the Steam page. It's in Steam. You can just type in Nightfall to check it out. It's only 395 pesos, or you can just go to their Facebook page to learn more about Nightfall Escape, which is currently in development at Xeno Games. Okay, now we can
To
move
the
on.
news.
Let's talk about the news.
Do-do-do-do-do.
The biggest thing that happened this week was EVO 2015. So let's start with
Yeah.
that.
And it's still
It's-
happening at the moment of this recording.
Yeah, so I don't know why I'm going to start with it. It's actually not even done yet. So
What
I
is
didn't
it,
know why I
like
was starting with EVO
top
5.
8 starts in a few hours?
Oh, is that how it is?
Yeah,
I thought it
because
was like tomorrow
it's
morning. or
usually
something.
Monday morning for us.
Oh god damn! Well, yeah, top 8 because I think all the pools for every single game at this point is done.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what we're talking about is Evolution 2015, which is one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the world.
It is the biggest.
Everybody is there.
Urbad
is
is
the
there.
biggest?
We got some Pinoys there representing.
We got a Pinoy there from Mortal Kombat, but sadly he's already out. He didn't make it out of his pools.
He was on
Tim
stream. He
Cruz.
destroyed that guy he fought. It's pretty good.
He destroyed Bob. His name was actually Bob.
Bob
We've seen some
Cage.
pretty cool moments. We've seen
Bob Cage.
Old Man Valle kicking.
Oh, Uncle Vi is still so
Still
good.
with Hugo of all characters, and also Street Fighter 4 versus.
Do not diss the Hugo. The Hugo
Dude.
is strong.
Like that little tuft of white hair on Alex Vi. That doesn't show that he's getting old. It just means he's wiser.
No, it just means that he knows. It just means he buys die. That's what it means.
No, but you know how they say all that bullshit about like.
Or is he really that old? I don't know.
Bullshit they say where like after a certain age your reaction time gets to slow down.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
After 26, you can't play MOBAs anymore.
What crap like
'cause
that.
your
Alex
reaction's too
Vi
slow.
is like fuck those guys.
It's the proof, man.
I don't believe that too because we have actually a Dota 2 player who is actually like an old
Yes,
man.
I've seen that. Like an old guy.
Yeah.
I don't.
Lola, sorry, Lolo. I forgot his name. I'm actually.
No,
I'm
it's
butchering
cool.
this
Like
already,
that's
but
what
we
he
do
does
have
for
him.
like in his retirement, right? Like he just plays Dota because he's.
Good
Yeah,
for
and
him.
his reason for doing it is because his doctor, I think, suggested he plays video games to pretty much keep his brain sharp,
Nice.
his reactions fast, and he so happens to have like an internet cafe right by, and he just started playing Dota 2, and apparently he's really good.
Yep.
And he's been showing up in some of our some of the esports events here in the Philippines, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, reactions not so bad. And I'm playing some Street Fighter 4 in Playbook like every week. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I don't know. I don't believe the whole age thing yet. So we'll see. I think if you just keep playing the game, you're just you're gonna have better reactions.
Yeah, if your reactions aren't up to par, just hit him with the mind games,
or the mind games, yeah.
Start trash talking him or something.
We're kind of sidetracking here. Let's go back to EVO 2015. We're talking about reactions all of a sudden. I'm so sorry. But yeah, EVO, the biggest fighting game tournament in Las Vegas. Pools are done. But actually, I'm not going to tell you what's done because by the time you're listening to this, it's pretty much over. Do not...
There's probably
Go ahead.
archives on YouTube. You can look it up.
Yeah, go to the archives, go to Event House because what we've seen so far at the pool is already hype enough. I'm sure top 8 is like blowing us away at this point. Because I've always enjoyed watching EVO every year. It's becoming more like a tradition, like watching Street Fighter, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, even Smash. Smash is actually fun to watch too.
Oh yeah.
Smash, especially the one now, the Wii U version and the 3D. Is there a 3DS version or is it just straight up Wii U for the EVO?
They're running the
That I
Wii U,
have to
but I think
double-check.
you can use 3DS as a controller for EVO. Though I'm not sure though.
Awesome. And this is the first EVO, of course, with Mortal Kombat 10, which is also pretty hype, especially when you actually know what the hell's going on. That's pretty cool. What's the prize pool for this EVO?
I do not know.
Excuse me.
Money and fame.
I think it's no money and fame for sure, but I think it's $300,000 at stake. I'm not
I think
overall. I'm not too sure there's
that
who gets to that.
wasn't just the first Evo for MKX. I think it's also the first one for Tekken 7 as well.
In Smash.
no,
actually.
Tekken 7. I
No,
think
there's
they
no
just
Tekken
have-
7.
Yeah, they just have the machines there for you to
Okay,
try,
okay.
but there's no tournament for that.
alright.
EVO 2015 for Tekken 7. No one knows what the fuck's going on.
No, there's probably a side tournament,
Probably side tournaments. Probably even
I'm sure there are money bets
side
happening there,
tournaments
yeah.
going on somewhere there.
Oh, the guy who represented the Philippines on MKX, he took a few photos at the event, and they do have like some indie games you can try out as well, like not just fighting games.
Oh, that's cool.
So like, of course you can try Tekken
'cause-
7 and SF5, but then there's some other stuff there too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because fighting game players, do play other games. I think I'm sure Daigo played.
And they're literally
Uncharted.
getting in them now, like Yatagarasu with Maximilian.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they
Unlimited
did
Max.
also show that new fighting
Speaking-
game with the robots. Do you remember what it was called?
Oh yeah, what was the title of that? Let me look it up.
Oh, failure! We're not informing you guys well enough. I'm so sorry.
Fact-checking.
Apparently,
It's amazing.
Yeah, we just went straight up. EVO happened this weekend, and we're just pretty much watching the matches. But yes, it's still a big event, and like you said, like there are games that you could actually try out, and it's still a big event. For
Here.
any gaming
It has a
enthusiast.
really forgettable title too. Sad to say, Rising
There you
Thunder.
go. And like, my friend, again, I think I agree with me. Like it looks very. You can't judge it.
I can't.
Yet.
I'm not gonna say anything because I haven't seen it.
No, it
can't
looks like
say
KI, like the feedback of the hits and the sound
Yeah.
effects make me think of KI, and maybe the character styling also. But then it says it's free to play online. It'll run on GGPO netcode, and that's it. No other info. So
Okay, I'm gonna check that out after the cast because I did not know that something like that showed up. My bad. But say the title again.
Rising
that was
Thunder. It sounds like a MOBA title. I think it's coming out on PC. Let me check again. But this could go very well or very wrong.
Or it could just
like with the whole free to play aspect.
Yeah.
Or just not work because it's a fighting game online.
Well, you think? Because you're actually you've played, or among all of us, or among the three of us, you've played like DOA free to play and the Tekken free to play.
Yeah.
You tried to play. Is that, wait, when you say try to work, it does work, or it's just something that could. I'll play it and then you'll kind of forget about it.
No,
that
it's hard to say for us since our net is shit no matter what you do, and it varies depending on connection. But like the Tekken one worked fine. Tekken Revolution that worked fine. I think I tried some Persona 4 arena games, which worked okay, but for the most part it was a lag. No, I got the disc.
What about the...
With like Street Fighter 4 ranked, some people have okay experiences. I myself haven't found a good ranked match in any of the Capcom games.
Well, when it comes to Street Fighter, you just have to find a Filipino in the same.
Yeah, but then
country,
that means you can't play ranked, and with a free to play title, you're most likely facing like randoms. So
Yeah.
But apparently GGPO does have a good reputation with other countries and stable netcode, so that's something to look forward to at least. I'm also just worried about
I'm not a big fan with online fighting games anyway, so...
Yeah, but then also the free-to-play aspect might be something, to look down on. Like, it might be a pay-to-win scheme or, skill might not be all that applicable, but it could still be very good.
Yeah, we don't know. It's just been announced, this new free-to-play game, so we'll see as we move forward. What else? Did EVO have a SF5? Like you were saying, Tekken 7. SF5, there is a...
Yeah, you could try SF5 over there at EVO. Like, they had some machines on the... whatever that convention center was, or the ballroom, at whatever hotel. So... there's a bunch of stuff. And I saw some indie games there as well. Like, not just fighting games.
Wait, let's backtrack a bit because we got that info that there's SF5 and Tekken 7 and all that jazz and all those other games from the pictures of Tim Cruz or Tim De La Cruz.
Timothy Dan Cruz.
Timothy Dan Cruz. He is the one who pretty much beat the crap out of all the MK players here in the Philippines. In, Mortal Kombat qualifiers in Imperium. And this guy was unknown. I mean, unknown to the point that this is the first tournament he's ever participated in. And all of a sudden
that's what I was saying. Like, he really came out of...
Can I say destroyed?
Nowhere. Like, no one knew who this guy was. And...
Yeah, he came out of the shadows. Like, he was just that figure in the shadow, and he just showed up and I know how to play, and he just destroyed everybody. And he repeated that same, mentality, that same skilled play on in Bangkok.
Yeah, and for SEA majors.
Yeah, and he won that convincingly, that, and then he went straight to EVO. Yep. And that's already a big accomplishment in itself. And sadly, if pools are done, he was unfortunately unable to get out of his pools, meaning he got eliminated. But he was, from what I hear, correct if I'm wrong, whoever's listening, he was in the finals of his bracket. He almost got out of it. To hit top 8, I guess. Very, very close. And he actually won on live stream.
Yeah, he was on stream once, and he took the match very convincingly against. Yeah,
he was playing
Johnny Cage player
Bob. Or Johnny
Bob
Cage,
was the dude's name.
His name was actually Bob. This American called Bob.
So Tim Cruz versus Bob, like the most realistic combo. Just names.
I just realized that this guy, which is Tim Cruz, I have this friend of mine in my my PlayStation network, and his handle was Danny Cruz.
Yeah, that was him.
And that's him?
That's him.
He beats the crap out of me whenever we play. in my MK10. He was the only person where I said, I don't want to play with you anymore because you're too good. But I remember him. He was like the first guy I was able to play online with no problems with net or any issue online with MK10. The guy is really good.
I sort of encountered.
I don't know
him
why
online.
he's in my friends list.
Yeah, he was a Facebook friend then for like a year because he was an online warrior for most of the whatever fighting games. So like Injustice, he tried to play online, and he even under lag, he's pretty good. So
no, he's pretty good. And I remember, I double checked on why I have him because he was just in my group, and he also used to play in Street Fighter online.
Yeah, he's apparently. He plays a lot of fighting games, and he's good.
He plays a lot of fighting games.
Of them.
He was okay. He was okay in Street Fighter 4. He's more of those like usual like Ken. Well, not Ken. I think he was mostly maining Ken, but you know those like abusing the hell out of the fucking DP, like the Dragon Punch. Decent fighter, but he was always around. He's always persistent. He's always like very very accurate with his combo strings. And in MK10, it's even stronger. It's like it's more apparent. And he was like playing different characters over and over against my Cassie Cage. Like the guy is really strong, and then apparently
this dude does confirm very tightly in his combos.
Yeah. And I think it's the the first time I ever saw a Filipino player in EVO 2015. Like you see like their name, and then you see their like icon, their flag or their country flag, and I see, oh my god, they have the icon for the Philippines.
Yeah, it's usually like a Filipino who lives in the
like
States.
Filipino champ, like that.
Like Filipino man. Also,
but they don't get the American flag. We actually get the Philippine flag in his corner.
That's very rare.
Because you usually see an American flag or a Japanese flag, or every now and then a German flag.
It's usually American or Japanese,
UK flag.
Anything else.
And all of a sudden there's like Philippine flag. It's cool. I mean, like, at least we got some kind of recognition that we do play fighting games. We do learn the hell out of the game. And I want to see more out of it, and I hope the MK, or rather how I call it, the Nether Realms community here, because you know how they just transfer from whatever game they make, they grow.
MK9 wasn't all that big at EVO. Like they appeared for 1 year on the main stage and then never again. MK10 seems to be doing a lot better. Like
a lot better. I hope it does.
I popped on stream.
MK9 got overshadowed by Injustice, pretty much.
No, but when MK9 was out, remember, it was on the main stage for 1 year, and then like a side stream after that.
That's true.
Because you would only see Milinas and Kung Laos and no other characters.
Kung Laos and Cabals.
And it's hard to tell right now for MK10. It's also its first year.
No, but to be fair, MK10 is easier to watch. Like I popped on the SRK EVO streams, after doing whatever during the day, and like I don't know much about MKX, but I do enjoy the game.
You can follow what's going on.
But then when I watched the stream, I was going like, ooh, ah.
Yeah, you can kind of you can follow.
It gets you hype. Yeah.
No, it gets you hype, and I played MK10 before. Like I tried to learn the game. There's a big difference. There's a vast difference, especially and the variations for each and every character in MK10. It gives a lot of variety. It gives a lot of interesting moves.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like close matches, mostly on stream that at least the ones I've seen, where like they go back and forth a lot.
I'll say this though, MK10 in a competitive sense, because I play MK10 with some people on Playbook, and then we talk about it. It's not in the same balance as Street Fighter 4 at this point.
It's like really different, of course.
No, it's really different, but it's not at that point. That's what I'm saying.
Combo.
It's not at that point. It needs to. The realm still needs to work the kinks out, like which to balance the characters out. But their core aspect of the game right now, I think it's pretty solid. I hope the community stays strong, and I see an EVO MK10 next year, because I'm having.
I'd like to see this next year as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see it as well, and then we'll see top 8, because I really want to see top 8 MK10. It'll be pretty hype. They have fucking Liu Kang and shit. It's pretty interesting. Any last words for EVO 2015? Because we can't really say much because it's still ongoing. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try to watch grand finals for all of them, and that's it.
Well, that's what I always do. Yeah.
I'll try
as well. All right, moving on. If anybody remembers, during E3, the first press conference, Bethesda talked a lot about their games, of course, because of the press conference. But they mentioned a specific game after Fallout 4, which is Fallout Shelter.
Yep. Have you been playing Fallout
Are
Shelter?
you guys still playing that game, by the way? Before
I played, actually, I stopped playing it too, I'm afraid.
I stopped because my iPad can't take it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if my iPad can take it or not, but like I tried to boot it and it just kept crashing, and like I don't have any drive to play it. So
initially it can work. It can work, but as you get your population to like I don't know how many like it's just
there's
so
too
big.
many assets to manage, and then it just burns
as
up.
it was loading, it starts to crash. I'm like, oh, I can't grow them anymore. They're gonna die because I can't.
Populate the Earth with all these siblings.
It's still a fun game, though. It's still a fun game. Will you stop playing because you just I don't know you just got forget?
Bored,
I'm assuming.
really. I mean,
you got bored. Okay.
I played it for a while, and then I just sort of forgot about it because I was playing Witcher, and then I guess Witcher took up most of it.
Oh, that's a good reason actually to play Witcher. Yeah, it actually makes sense. Witcher 3. That's a good reason to get distracted with Fallout Shelter. Fallout Shelter, it's a free game on iOS, and I'm assuming soon on Android. Wow. Do check it out if you can. It's actually a pretty fun game. But reason why I mention this right now is because their numbers have finally come up on how much they've earned for this free title. For what Bethesda was saying, they just wanted to get Fallout out there. There's a reason why they made this title. They've earned 5.1 million out of Fallout Shelter.
That's crazy.
And that's in 2 weeks, huh? And take note, it was a huge success. I consider it a huge success because I think in the US it kind of dethroned Candy Crush, and that says a lot.
Yeah, there was an article about that came up.
Yeah, as much as it might be just because of the hype, it's still to the point where that fan base was able to dethrone a very famous
casual game that's had
I'm sure
basically of on the market to build that numbers up.
Yeah, I'm assuming like Candy Crush is back on top, but it bumped it off for a while, if ever, and that's saying a lot. And that's wild. 5.1 million for a game that is not you don't require it to be online. The paywall is not there's a pay you can pay for stuff if you want to, but you don't really have to. The paywall is not preventing you to enjoy the game at all. And they were still able to generate this kind of amount of money in just under 2 weeks. That's actually pretty impressive.
So I think the strength of it was it got the hardcore gamer into that sphere, and then they'd be willing to spend money too on something like with an IP like Fallout. And for a well-made game at that, it wasn't just some quickly thrown together cash grab.
No, not at all. Just by the art itself, it was like appealing to the the whole Pip-Boy, the whole art style, the cartoony art style of Fallout. That was a really great touch. But yeah, for those who haven't checked out Fallout Shelter, if you have time, do check it out. It's a good time sink, especially for your phones. It'll beat the crap out of your battery though, for sure. I'll tell you that right now. Moving on, let's talk more about games that earned, like Shenmue 3, the damn Kickstarter that happened right after the fucking PlayStation Sony.
Oh yeah, we finally got a
conference.
number of how much it earned, and it's the highest grossing Kickstarter so far.
Yeah, it's done. It was after 3 days. Like all Kickstarter campaigns are like 30 days, right? Or is there
a month
higher? A month. Okay, month is up. The month is up now for Shenmue 3, and it ended with $6.3 million.
6 wow.
What?
I can finally play as a convenience store clerk again.
I can finally buy a Coke on a vending machine
in a video
do
game.
it all over again in a video game. I can drink the
and
Coke
then earn it back by working a job in a video game.
No. Sorry, I can drink the Coke and even dictate how much I want to, like if I want to chug it or not, and I can buy it again.
Yeah, because like
over again.
wasn't Shenmue 3 Shenmue like one of the first games to incorporate QuickTime events?
Maybe it's one of the first. I remember having QuickTime events. It didn't have a term yet.
Like I know they did it before God of War, so yeah. Shenmue gave us QTEs, yo.
Yeah, shame.
I'm ready to experience it all over again.
Okay,
even though I haven't technically.
Remember that game everybody was super excited for, Bloodstained, the Ritual of the Night, the one that's supposed to be the Symphony of the Night successor, or
yes,
something like that. Well, Shenmue 3 surpassed that, because
that's fine.
That's actually saying a lot. That's fine, but that was supposed to be like the rating. That was supposed to be the king back then, like the highest grossing.
Well, to be fair,
project.
like Symphony of the Night 2 had like a better chance of existing more than Shenmue 3.
No, that's true.
Oh, there you go.
That's true. Like Shenmue 3
But
came out of nowhere.
It's pretty wild though. But you do know the creator of Shenmue was expecting 10 million out of this. Like, if they want
that's
like
fine.
a grand experience of Shenmue 3,
Oh, yeah,
comes
yeah,
to a point where
he
their
did
aim
say
was
that.
10 million.
Yeah, he did say that for what he wanted to achieve, he needed 10 million.
Yeah. So,
But hey, Sony is
6.5.
giving them the marketing money, so that's still, something extra.
Yeah, the money earned out of Shenmue 3's Kickstarter campaign actually is not for production at all. It's more of them
Physical
gauging
release,
how,
I think.
No, it's for them gauging on how much they want how much they want this game.
That's a lot of demand, 6 million worth of
It's
demand.
a lot of demand because
That's pretty
6.3
good.
is not. It's not enough to make a AAA game for sure. AAA, because like I said, I think when we were talking about Shenmue 3, I think the Shenmue 1 or 2 was like what, hundreds of millions. Like I'm not hundreds of millions, but definitely more than like 100+ million to make the game. And we know how 1 and 2 came out. What more with 3? And I believe a video came out to show that the game is currently in development, like a small video, like a 30-second video showing I think the main character, and then in gameplay footage and all that. But yeah, Shenmue 3, it's done. You can still support the game through PayPal if you really want to give them more money for some reason.
Awesome.
So there's still an option there. But yeah, I am curious on how Shenmue 3 will turn out in the modern day.
Will we have to wait at least 2 years before we can see how that'll turn out?
Yep.
Or 5
at least
years.
2 years.
Okay, fine. Yeah, at least is a good word. Yeah. Moving on. Remember that game called Dead Island?
Yes, Dead Island.
There's a MOBA of that.
There is a MOBA of that. I think we played it.
I have codes for that. You want to give it away too?
I haven't played it yet, dude. It keeps updating. I haven't touched it.
Yeah, we did. What is
But
it?
hey, I heard there's a
I
sequel,
think I have codes.
and it's
Oh,
not
yeah, I
doing
have
so
codes for
hot.
that as well. Jeez, wait, let me check my inventory.
You want to give away codes to Dead Island's
No,
MOBA?
Let the ones listening
No,
work
but-
on Nightfall
but
for a
it's
while.
some,
I won't give the codes for the mobile.
There's been somewhat bad news in that regard for Dead Island 2 because we saw a
Yes.
CG trailer for it. I think 2014 E3.
There's a game. There's also there's actually a gameplay trailer as well right after its announcement, and it looked pretty much like a Dead Island. There's not much to say about it, but the reason why I'm mentioning Dead Island 2 right now is because the one currently developing that game, Jaeger, is already out.
Yep.
They pulled out pretty much.
pulled out.
Deep Silver, the one who's publishing this game, announced that the developer for the project has already pulled out, and well, that's not good.
Not good at all.
It's not good at all.
That's not good at all. I mean, that
You
game
could say
is
this
announced.
project is on a dead island.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Very nice. I like that one. I very like that one. I wasn't too excited about Dead Island 2 in the first place. I wasn't too.
No, apparently
happy.
nobody else was, because they did have a demo at some point at like either this year's or last year's E3, and
Yeah.
people are saying that Dying Light is still the superior of the two. And
And
I
Dying Light
heard
is pretty
that
much the developers of the one
of
the
the
first
original Dead
Yeah,
Island,
but
yeah.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
And
they
they added parkour.
Dead Island was always.
Well, I
Dead
don't
Island
consider that
was always
parkour,
a
but
very
okay.
subpar game, I think. I mean, it was
With
with an
amazing trailers.
trailer, exactly. Like it just had just enough.
Oscar-worthy
It did
trailers.
just enough to stop.
I'm a bombing about to blow up, yo.
It did just enough. It is
It's a good song, though.
It did just, but the game,
It is a really good.
the game did just enough to prevent itself from being bad, but not enough for it to be good.
To be good. Which is still not good.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, the CEO of Jaeger announced released a statement saying that our team is made of the best creative minds and tech specialists who will share a common identity.
Marketing
Whatever,
bullshit.
Yeah. The team worked with enthusiasm to take Dead Island to a new level of quality. However,
A
Jaeger
new
and
level.
Deep Silver's respective hold on. Jaeger and Deep Silver's respective visions of the project fell out of alignment, which led to the decision that has been made. So yeah, they parted ways. There's no more developer.
They basically said,
working
"Fuck
on
this
Dead
game."
Yeah, it's not gonna work apparently. Or that's what I assume. Like,
When was this
my
announced?
vision's not like his.
Dead Island 2 was announced a long ass time ago, I feel.
Not a long, maybe a year ago. Someone correct me for
I
that
think
one. But
it's going on the verge of 2 already. But don't quote
no,
me on
I
that.
don't think so. 1+, yeah, I think it's just 1+. But I am not that bummed out about this because I think as much I'm not too happy about Dying Light. So I'm not really that jazzed up with Dead Island 2, if you know what I mean. Like I'm kind of like really Dead Island was enough. That's what I'm saying. Dying Light was really pushing it, and now they have a sequel for Dead Island. You go, okay, cool. But the only thing I got out of Dead Island 2 when it was announced was that new awesome song out of the trailer.
Yep.
And I'm already happy.
Well, we
I'm
have
already
to see,
happy with
'cause
that.
I did hear that after getting the negative reception with the comparison to Dying Light, there was mention of them revamping the core game, so it could turn out very differently still, and maybe for the better.
I'm surprised the guy got shocked that there was like, oh my god, it's a comparison with Dying Light with Dead Island 2.
But it's made by the same people. Hashtag Gamergate.
Anyway, but yeah, whoever was excited for Dead Island 2, don't hold your breath because they have to look for the
Just
developer
play
again.
that song on your iPod over and over again. Wake up in the morning in the clear blue sky. Yeah.
Moving on. Okay, last week we talked about Iwata. He sadly passed away. Yeah, I know. Miggy still feel it. Still
The
felt
feels,
that one.
man.
The feels, yeah, it's most real. Apparently, the one currently that would supposedly lead Nintendo at this point, until I guess they actually find an actual successor, is pretty much Miyamoto and this guy called Genyo Takeda. Now, Miyamoto, of course, is like, Mr. Mario. We all know who Miyamoto is. And Takeda, this is actually a pretty interesting name, but he's supposedly like one of the very first developer. I mean,
Yeah, one of the
game
earliest
designer.
hired developers for Nintendo back in the day.
Miyamoto was like talking about this guy, and they were saying this is Takeda is pretty much technically the very first game designer for Nintendo. And he
So is it
developed
like
game
a
called-
seniority thing?
Yeah, it sounds like a very Japanese thing,
For
seniority
these-
sort of deal.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, probably.
Miyamoto is more of a developer than he is like a businessman. And
Yeah.
like I'm guessing, since he and Takeda are like one of the oldest dudes at Nintendo, they are handling like the temporary. They're being the temporary head for it, while
Which I'm
the
fine- which I'm
company
okay-
works things out.
Which I'm okay with, because they're like, if Takeda is an actual developer, just like Miyamoto, or even like Iwata as a coder and all that, I would rather have them helming the company, or leading them to whatever direction they're currently working on, than let's say just a full-on suit or whatever. The reason why I'm mentioning Takeda is because like he did mention the name Takeda, and they're pretty much saying, well, who this guy is? Who is this guy? Because we know Miyamoto, the other one, of course, we don't know. He made a game called Ever Race, because apparently that's one of the first games ever in Nintendo, and it's a very weird contraption where 6 players can play this game, and they can choose to predict the outcome of a horse race. It's pretty much a horse race game,
It's a gambling game then.
pretty much.
Awesome, Nintendo.
Nintendo wasn't Nintendo
It
when
wasn't.
that happened.
This was way back.
They used to make like card games.
Exactly. They
before.
started out making card games. Card games have been, ingrained with gambling for God knows how long, right? So.
Yeah, all that Yu-Gi-Oh, that's gambling for
God.
kids. Send you into the shadow realm. I'll stop now.
I hope I never.
During the
become
whole
that
week-
parent.
You never know.
You'll force
Never
your
know.
kids to play Nintendo games before you have them touch a smartphone.
That's actually the first thing that I might do when I have my first.
Isn't there a guy already
Play
doing that?
Pac-Man.
Yeah,
No,
and there
actually,
was an
since
article
you-
of a guy
since you-
doing that.
Yeah, and he's one of the most
Like
responsive players right now. I mean, he's really he knows what he can finish Spelunky, and that's saying a
Damn.
lot. He's an 8-year-old, and for those who haven't played Spelunky, that's one of the hardest platforms I've ever played in modern.
But does he enjoy playing Spelunky? Maybe it's all like forced on him. It's like, Daddy, I don't want to go down the cave anymore.
No, maybe because if you finish Spelunky, there's like a dark version of it. Like it's like an old, like harder version once you finish it. It's like not my Contra. It's more like you know how Ghosts and Goblins, where you have to finish the game twice in order to actually finish the game.
Oh yeah, dude.
Same with Spelunky. You finish the first game, and you have to finish it again to really finish it.
Get the true
ending.
ending.
It's even harder. Yeah, somewhat.
Route B Claire campaign.
And this child actually supposed to have gotten that achievement already. And we're completely sidetracked on what we were talking about, which was Nintendo. All of a sudden we were talking about
Thanks,
children.
Nintendo.
You know, I guess it kind of makes sense though. Nintendo sideways to children. Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to mention Takeda because they were.
No, I'm guessing when they say that these two are the current like heads of Nintendo. I'm guessing it's for like projects that they're working on. And because for sure the business side of it is they already expected Iwata to pass, like given his condition, because he hasn't shown up on camera for like a long time. You notice?
Yeah.
And it makes me think that maybe they started doing the Rex because of the condition, like was already looming at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure that they were actually making contingency plans when it comes to Iwata's case or Iwata's fate.
Yeah, and also the reason for the puppets being on the video, because maybe Iwata looked so thin or physically couldn't do it anymore, even on directs. That might have been the reason why.
Reggie wanted to look thin as well. So
he was doing 64 push-ups,
He was doing 64
in his puppet form.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that there's a lot that actually showed up in Iwata's
his funeral. Yeah, that photo was just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, and then Nintendo
with a bunch of
Nintendo
Kirby's on it.
No, and Nintendo showed a lot of like in front of their company or in front of their building, a lot of like tributes to Iwata, like putting like some flowers, some Yoshi dolls, or like whatever mushroom, or whatever, like just fans, flat out.
All
fans.
the Nintendo references that he did,
and all the artwork that came out on the internet.
Oh yeah, all that artwork is amazing. Him on Rainbow Road.
Like, and all of the like Zelda, Mario, I think Samus. There's like a silhouette, and all you can see is their tears. Feels. But there, yeah, it's still the news of losing Iwata last week is still there. Still, people are still, I guess, talking about it still, and just like what we were talking about last week, too soon, very too soon indeed.
Yeah, but like we'll expect news about what Nintendo will start doing, because they are a big company, so you can't ignore it. That we need to find out who's gonna take the lead. It's also weird too, because we're at the era where like CEOs are like the mascot characters for companies.
Yeah,
like Reggie, Iwata, Phil Spencer, maybe at some point.
No, actually, since you're mentioning that, the big wigs, which there were the big companies, which is Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Of course, Microsoft has Phil Spencer. Sony does not have anymore Jack Tretton. They have that guy. I still can't find his name, but it's a replacement of Jack Tretton. It's
the suit with the beard now.
Yeah, I'm
What's
sorry,
his name?
I don't know his name yet. I know.
I can't
Nintendo,
remember it either.
People will burn me for that. Nintendo, of course, we lost Iwata, but we have Reggie mostly as. Yeah, I consider Reggie more of a face actually for Nintendo.
Yeah, he has more of the face.
Or maybe
he's
because
got that
he's
Reggie
like,
face.
Maybe because he's the Nintendo side. He's the Nintendo. Oh, sorry, the American side, like the US version.
Yeah, of Nintendo of America.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that when it comes to Nintendo.
Reggie. Like you look at his face. He's my wallpaper. Biggie can tell you that he's my.
See, it's just his face. There's something
really
about
real?
his face.
Wait, is Will's wallpaper really Reggie's face?
Yeah, it still is. I completely forgot when we did that
still
Unearthed
is.
video. It's like a giant stretched Reggie.
Smiling?
It's just my body
Yes.
is Reggie face.
It used to be Gabe, right? Then you change it to Reggie when his body was
exactly.
ready.
And now, but his body has been ready for the past how many months?
Maybe that was the reason why they went for directs, because Reggie's body was too ready.
Anyway, moving on. I don't even want to bother asking why. Okay, yeah, moving on. One last bit. Does any of you know the game The Flock?
Is this the one? Is this the
No.
one where like?
I mentioned this to you.
Is this wait? Is this
The
the one where
Flock?
like?
Yeah,
you
in
control,
chat.
like people who live in like the rapture happens and you're.
Oh yeah, this is the one where you said that it's a multiplayer game that if too many people die, it'll just shut down.
Apparently, that's the case. Yes.
But what
Holy
kind of game
shit.
is it? Like, is it
Um,
an MMO? Is it?
It's a multiplayer. It's a competitive multiplayer
Oh,
game
okay.
where the objective
how does it
is
play, though?
If it's
First
competitive
person.
multiplayer,
First
that
person.
implies
Ah.
people will die. You know.
Yeah, I know, but okay. Now hear me out first. The objective of the game is you are part of the quote unquote the flock, right? And you're these weird creatures. And the objective of the game is you have to become the carrier of this specific object, which is the light. And once one of the players get that, it becomes more of like a cat and mouse kind of deal. Because the one player who has that orb, he can use it. It comes up more like a flashlight for him, right? And he can use that to pretty much, if he flashes on another player that's moving, he'll die from it. So that's his form of defense against the people who are trying to get that light. Because then the objective is to grab that light from the player, right? Whoever has the light, their objective is to bring it to a certain place in the map, and the match ends. He wins, right? It sounds simple enough, but that's like maybe how many players trying to grab the hell out of your flashlight or whatever that object is. And from the gameplay footage, it looks very chaotic. It looks very it's still in the alpha stages. It looks very raw, but it looks very scary because it's all dark. The map and the stages are all like there's dark corners everywhere. It's so gloomy.
Yeah,
And
so I'm
if you're-
looking at the gameplay, like at the trailer right now, and like when you don't have the orb, it looks like you're running on all fours, like a beast of some kind.
Because you're a creature. You're more like a creature. I don't know what you are exactly, but
So like, what's your only defense if you have the orb?
if you're
Do
the
they
one trying
burn
to get
in
the
the
orb,
light? Oh
Yeah,
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 it looks like
you-
you do burn in the light. All right.
yeah, you flash it off like a Alan Wake kind of deal.
Yeah, it's like Alan
And-
Wake. All right. I can
And
see.
what's interesting about this is that the other players, their only form of defense against the light is if they stand still.
So they.
now-
Oh.
So if like, just think about
Red
the
light,
scenario.
green
like,
light, the game.
red light, green light. The game. Just think about it. Like you're the carrier, and you're walking through a corridor, and you see the players all frozen. And at any moment, if they find an opportunity, they'll jump at you. So it's kind of freaky in that kind of concept where, oh my
Well,
god,
I
it's a
mean
player
that
game.
idea for a game isn't
Exactly.
bad, but it still boils down. Why make the decision to have it so the game
Yeah,
shuts
like
down?
why have that?
If you
That sounds a bit
No,
extreme,
that's-
don't you think?
That's why it's in my list right now, because the gameplay content sounds pretty cool in itself. And then they added this where when you boot the game, supposedly there should be a population count, and once that population count goes to 0, the server shut down.
No, but like, how does that work? If everyone is trying to kill everyone else, won't that still leave one player left?
Yeah,
Like, eventually?
Yeah, this is an overall player count of the
So
whole.
then, like, I
game.
guess the only way that person would die is if he falls off a cliff or whatever.
I guess so.
Or are
Essentially-
there like outside forces that can still kill you, even
No,
though players aren't there?
that remains to be seen of the other elements that will be played in the game. But essentially,
Or-
when you're playing the game, and if someone dies in any way possible, that will pretty much count. to
decreases the
population.
count.
It'll pretty much decrease the count. Like this whole world in this game has a overall population. Apparently, they can't make more of them.
So
I
like, there's
guess.
a universal like one up like number, and like once that runs out of lives,
but the
then
thing
the
is,
thing shuts down.
ultimately, that the
Yep.
number will be hit, even if people don't find a way to game the system to fuck around with it. It's like at some point that will happen.
No,
Or it could all just
yeah.
be some marketing
It sounds
bullshit.
like marketing
It
bullshit.
might be.
Really.
Like
It's the most absurd
once the
feature I've
number
ever
goes to
heard.
0, that's the end of the alpha.
Oh, that's when they
something.
will release the sequel. Whatever.
No, but
Yeah,
let's
the
just assume,
flocking.
Let's just assume that when it officially gets released, and you do have a full-on population like count, when you boot the game, it's already out in the wild. People can play it. There's a full population count, and you can see it dwindle slowly. And eventually it will happen, of course, 'cause I don't think they didn't mention any way of increasing the population count. Now, if it goes to 0, again, like I said, they'll shut down the service. The game will be unplayable, and you can't reinstall it. I don't understand why. I don't.
It sounds like that like creepypasta of a game that deletes itself, and then the user dies or something.
It's like I don't understand. Like it sounds intriguing, but I don't know.
It's probably some marketing spiel,
It might
I'm
be.
assuming that's what it is.
To the point where I'm plugging this in the podcast, but it's just really interesting.
The game does look and sound interesting, by itself.
Yeah, but sadly, I don't it's gonna die though eventually.
So why don't all the monsters wait near the goal point and just ambush the guy once he gets close enough?
It could be. It could be those kind of little tactics where it's really easy.
Yeah, then again, it is alpha, so I'm sure they'll make a way that you can't go this far from the target or some nonsense.
Now, the concept's pretty cool. We'll just see in the full version of The Flock.
That title is weird, too, The Flock.
Yeah,
I don't get a Flock vibe from this game.
I don't give a flock about The Flock. For PC, first person, if you saw the video, right? So do check it out. Just go to YouTube, type it, or I'll put on the link on the description on this episode podcast. Do check it out. It's actually pretty interesting. I heard about it just recently, and we will see. It's remember the game Spawn, that Spawn game in the SNES, I think, or in the Super Nintendo.
Like the McFarlane Spawn.
Yeah, the one with the limited life as well. The more powers you use, eventually it'll drain your overall ability count. And if that goes 0, you just die flat out.
Wow. I didn't know.
You never played that one? Well, anyway, remind me of that. Remind me of that specific game. And I think that's it for episode 88 of the TMG podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. We have an episode every week, every Tuesday. Again, the one who redeemed the code for Nightfall a few minutes ago, or not a few minutes ago, on the start of, before we started talking about news, please just throw us a hello, I kind of got your code and all that, so we know it's
yes, that will really help out.
That will really help.
Make sure you listen in, yeah. That's how we know.
Yeah, and just for some reason you were listening to the podcast, this part of the podcast only. We have a code somewhere here. Rewind, I guess. But yes, that's episode 88. Thanks for listening again. If you want to get the latest, do subscribe on iTunes and Podomatic. YouTube, we have videos every day. TMG blog, do check it out. Miggy, you have your usual stuff. You have currently, I think you're working on Symphony of the Night right now.
We still got Her Story coming out, as well as Symphony of the Night. So that's every day except Sunday.
And do check the Unearth vid.
Definitely.
It's hilarious.
Especially the Guile moment. That was great.
Yeah.
I'll kick like that in real life, That game taught me so.
Do like us on Facebook. Do like us on Twitter, Too Much Gaming. And if you want to check out our previous episodes, our whole archive of the TMG podcast is on our website, www.toomuchgaming.com. That's 2 with the number 2. And I think that's it. I'm going to stop now because I have a lot of EVO stuff to watch as well. Still before I go to sleep. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.